I worked at laboring jobs for several years. I worked in construction, I worked on farms and ranches, I worked in factories putting nuts on bolts hour after hour. And one day, in a state of frustration, I began asking this question: why is it that some people are more successful than others? Now, in the Bible, there's the line that says, "Seek and ye shall find, for all who seek, findeth. Ask and the door will be open." So I began asking other successful people, what are you doing differently from me? And they told me, and I did it, and I got better results. I got into sales when I could no longer get a laboring job, like many of you. And in sales, I noticed that one of the guys in my company was making 10 times as much as anybody else, and he was selling the same product out of the same office at the same price to the same people under the same conditions, and he was making 10 times as much as anybody else. So I went and asked him, what are you doing differently from me? And he told me, and I did it.
And $300 to my mother was like 30 million. Let me tell you something. My mother loved me to death, sweet, wonderful woman, but she would cuss you out and beat you up and then pray for you as she taking you to the hospital. That's the kind of person she was. So we were sitting in the house and she was saying, listen, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of you doing these plays. Just stop it. Just stop it. I'm tired of you crying about it. And the woman loved me more than anything. She said, you know what? Just give it up. Just go get you a job working at the phone company. You're never going to make it with these plays. Just go get a job at the phone company. I was sitting there in tears when she was saying it to me. She turned around and she saw me because I was sitting behind her on the sofa, and the blood drained from her face. And she said, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know how important this was for you. But what I want you to understand is that I don't care how many people love you and encourage you, or the ones that try to tear you down or destroy you. When God has a dream for you, it is your dream. Your dream. Your dream. And there are people who love you who will think that they're saying the right things to you to try to protect you, or there are people that have been in your lives and watched you grow up, and they don't know what God has put down inside of you because they think they're too familiar with you. But what you have to understand is when God has something for you, you have to go for it fully.
No matter what challenges or setbacks or disappointments you may encounter along the way, you will find true success and happiness if you have only one goal. There really is only one, and that is this: to fulfill the highest, most truthful expression of yourself as a human being. You want to max out your humanity by using your energy to lift yourself up, your family, and the people around you. Theologian Howard Thurman said it best. He said, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive.
You can actually be a poor kid from nothing. And because of God's grace and mercy, He can put you in places you never ever thought you'd be. See, I'm sitting here, I'm tripping because I'm a you. I was a kid out the dirt. And where I am today is because of that grace and mercy.
Now, what I discovered, which changed my life and which brought us here today, is I discovered the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect, sowing and reaping, action and reaction, is the great universal or iron law of the universe. What it says is that everything happens for a reason, is that there are no causeless effects, is that even if we don't know what is causing the effect, we trace it back. It's the basis of the scientific process, of all medical research, of all marketing, of all business, is if you can define an effect that you want, you can trace it back and find somebody who at one time did not have that effect, and then find out what they did, and then do the same things, and you eventually get the same results. We say that success is not an accident. Failure is not an accident. Success leaves tracks. So if you just follow the tracks of other successful people, no matter where you're starting from, you eventually get to the same place that they get.
I woke up around 4 o'clock in the morning just about every day. Part of that came because I started in the fitness industry and I was doing that anyways. Also because I didn't have to talk to anyone until about 10 a.m. And so that gave me about 6 hours of uninterrupted work time that I could really move projects forward. So that means the first thing I did every morning was I would wake up and I would...
They tell me what to wear, how to look, what I should say, how I should be. Until recently, I had given in to that pressure. I lost sight of who I was. I listened to opinions of people, and I tried to change who I am because I thought that others would accept me for it. And I realized I don't know how to be anything but myself. And all I really want you to know is that you are changing the world. I'm not changing the world, you're changing the world, and that's amazing. Please just be kind to each other and love and inspire people, because let's do it. Let's change the game. Let's change the game. The most important thing is that we learn and we continue to learn from each other. Please stay true to yourself. Please just remain who you are and know that we have each other's back. All of us have each other's back. I'd be lying if I said that I've never tried to make myself better by giving in, because I have. But I've learned from my actions, and for all the things I've done, I'm proudest of that. I've learned from my mistakes. I want you to know what it's like, that I know what it's like. Figuring out what types of friends you have, you are who you surround yourself with.
And I learned later in psychology, by the way, that one of the two most important things we need to have to be happy and healthy is a sense of control, a feeling that we are in control of our lives, that things are happening for a reason, and a sense of coherence, a feeling that things fit together. Well, when I realized the law of cause and effect explained everything, I thought, wow. So in sales, I went to the top of my sales force. I read and I learned, attended courses, and especially I applied what I learned. And then when I got into sales management, I again read the books and took the courses and asked for advice. And when I got into real estate and importation and development and manufacturing and distribution and a whole series of businesses over the years, the first thing I did is I asked, how does it work? How do people succeed in this field? And then I buried myself and immersed myself. I spent hours and hours and hours studying, and then I did what the most successful people did.
There I am, 1998, get this opportunity at the House of Blues, and I walk in and they're all just, they call it folk art all over the walls. I'm from New Orleans, I said, that's voodoo and I'm not performing here, get it off the walls. So they told me the next day, well, House of Blues was pulling out, so House of Blues was gone. So the name of the place would return to its original name. It was a church, it was called the Tabernacle. So I was about to perform in a place called the Tabernacle. I go and I do the show, and I'm complaining all the way. I'm there putting on my makeup, getting ready to play the old man Joe, and I got attitude. I'm just mad, I'm upset. I'm like, I don't want to do this. And I hear that voice, that one that told me to quit, say, shut up. Let me tell you something, when God tells you shut up, you sit around, what happened? And he said, get up and look out the window. I got up and looked out this little dusty window. There was a line around the corner trying to get in the building. And the place sold out over and over and over again. And I said, God, where were you in all those times? He said, I was proving you to see that you would honor this, that you would do the right thing with it. Sometimes when you're not hearing from God, God is trying to see what you're going to do in the situation that you're in. And it turned out to be an incredible moment that has taken me from that sold out house all the way until every show that we've done. It's been incredible. It's been miraculous. It's been nothing but God, and I'm grateful for it.